Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Guys, it's been a little while, life's been busy, but I'm glad we're back, and I'm glad we're back making NBA content and NFL content, when we do. But for today's video, this is an NBA video, of course. We're doing another bracket fights video. I think this is our second one. The first one we ranked drinks, I think, and I love this website, Bracket Fights. I love comparing two different things. It's like 1v1 matchups. It's different than a tier list because instead of comparing something to the rest of the competition, the rest of the category of whatever we're ranking, we go 1v1, and that's what makes it fun. So I found this NBA themed one where it's called the best NBA player bracket fight, and I assume they just put a bunch of different random NBA players, probably the best ones, and they put them into random 1v1 matchups just like a bracket. It's randomly assorted, and I think that's what's going to make this particular video fun in this bracket, because a lot of times when you're comparing NBA players, a lot of us have we for the most part, we know who the best NBA players are. But what makes this fun is you get these one-on-one matchups, these single comparisons, these two players that you rarely ever compare because they're random. So we're gonna have fun with it. I have not seen any player on this list other than LeBron because I see him right at the top. I don't know who he's matched up against. Definitely comment your opinions on this video, guys, but we're just gonna have fun with it. Let's compare the best NBA players. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're starting with Joe Ingles against LeBron. All right, it's a great matchup. It's really a tough call. All right, so our next matchup is going to be, all right, Yusef Nurkic against Clint Capela. See, this is what I mean. You never get these kind of matchups. That's what makes it fun. You never really think about any of these specific matchups. So Yusef Nurkic is really good. I think he's a better passer. He's more like a poor man's Jokic. He's kind of like he's a point center a little bit. But I'm going to have to go with Capela because Capela is a much better defender, much better rebounder, and just, I think, a better overall player who usually is a lot healthier. He gives you 15, 2 blocks, just really solid all-around big man. Yusef Nurkic is good, but I'm going with Capela. Kobe White and Jrue Holiday. See, would I ever compare these two? Kobe White, he's pretty good, but look, the Bulls right now, they're great because of Levine, DeMar DeRozan. They're great because, Lonzo's kind of taken Kobe White's spot in the starting lineup. He's not playing as much, and so we're going to go with Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's a phenomenal defender. You saw what he did in the finals last year. He makes all the difference in the world. Terrific two-way player. Now, also, guys, you can see he's in a Pelicans jersey because I assume this list was made maybe a couple years ago, but that doesn't change. That we're not comparing teams, we're comparing players, so that shouldn't really change anything. We're going with Jrue Holiday nonetheless. So then we move on to Zach Levine and Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac hasn't really played much. Zach Levine has played a good amount, and he's been a star for a few years now. This is easy. Zach Levine, come on. No question about it. Tyler Hero against Kyrie Irving. Okay, here's the thing. I love Tyler Hero. I'm a big fan. I think he's awesome. I think he's cool. He's got swag. He's kind of like the Joe Burrow of the NBA. There's just something about him. I don't know. He has this great amount of confidence despite his young age. Love him. Love to watch him. But with that being said, and I know Tyler Hero's played most of the season, almost the entire season. Kyrie Irving hasn't played. So if we're talking about who's had a better year, Tyler Hero. But you can't deny Kyrie Irving's clearly the better player. He's way more talented, and you just got to go with him. Then we have John Collins and Terry Rozier. Okay, Terry Rozier was probably better for a while, but John Collins has had a really nice run the last few years. I think he's one of the more underrated players. I think he's close to a star player, if not a star. Terry Rozier's good. He's really good. But I'm going to go with John Collins. Did I say Jonathan? I don't remember. John Collins. All right. Then we got two teammates. Kevin Love against Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton's a really good player. He pretty much gets 20 points per game in his sleep. However, he's out for the rest of this season, so he's not playing. Kevin Love is playing, but Kevin Love is nowhere close to the player he once was, of course. So do we go with Kevin Love because of his veteran status? He's got a championship. We're not talking about entire career. We're talking about kind of right now, So, I know it might be a little disappointing or a little disrespectful to Kevin Love to go with Colin Sexton, but right now, I'd rather have Colin Sexton, but obviously Kevin Love's had the better career. Ben Simmons and Serge Ibaka. Okay. See, the thing is, if I went with Serge Ibaka, I would get a player who actually plays. And I like to have a player who plays for my team. So maybe I'd rather have Serge Ibaka on my team. But Ben Simmons is clearly the better player. And, say what you want about him. He's heavily, heavily criticized because he can't shoot a lick. He's a terrible free throw shooter. He's not even playing. He hasn't played all year. He wants out. Whatever. he's way better than Serge Ibaka. I'm sorry to break it to you. Serge Ibaka is a very good player, but come on. Then we have another easy one. Dame Dolla, Damian Lillard against Gary Harris. Is this even a question? It's Dame time. Moving on, easy stuff. Then we have Nick Vooch against Hassan Whiteside. Now, neither of these two players are on the teams that they're of the jerseys that they're wearing in this photo. Nick Vooch is on the Bulls. He's been injured, but he's still a great player. He's been a great player for, I think, several years now. Underrated also. I think he's been a top 5 big man the last almost decade, to be honest with you. Hassan Whiteside had a nice little run in Miami, but he's not. He plays on the Kings. He gets good minutes. He's in the rotation, but Nick Vooch is much better at this point in time. Then we have Bam Adebayo against Gordon Hayward. See, this is what I mean. Would we ever get a matchup like this? Gordon Hayward, really solid player. He's having a nice year on the Hornets. Bam Adebayo, he's been hurt this year, but right now you got to go with Bam. I mean, you can argue he's the best player on the Heat when healthy. He's kind of like a point center, does a little bit of everything, star player. I think he's definitely better than Gordon Hayward. Then we have an easy one, Chris Middleton or Al Horford. Chris Middleton's the second best player on a championship team. 40, 50, 90 guy, terrific efficiency. Al Horford is way, way past his prime. Maybe if this was an Atlanta Hawks Al Horford, there would be an argument for him. But you got to go with Chris Middleton in this one, obviously. He's way better right now. Luca Doncic, DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray, I think, should have gotten more All-Star votes than he did. I think he should have been an All-Star. He's having a great season, a walking triple-double pretty much for the Spurs, but Spurs kind of suck, and Luca is an absolute star. Definitely more than DeJounte Murray. He's a perennial All-Star. You can't not go with Luca here. Then we have Danilo Gallinari against, I think I've cracked my little voice crack right there, but anyways, Danilo Gallinari versus Lonzo Ball. This is interesting. Gallinari, really solid role player that you'd love to have on your team. He's been a very solid player for over a decade. I love me some Gallinari, some Gallo. However, we're going to have to go with Lonzo Ball because, come on, he's better at this point. Let's be honest. He's way closer to a star. Michael Porter Jr., who I think, he's got to get healthy. I mean, the injuries have just been so unfortunate for him, right? He's got to get healthy, but DeMar DeRozan has played like a superstar this year for the Bulls. Bradley Beal, Rudy Gay. Bradley Beal, come on. He's just a way better shooting guard. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard and Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark's really solid player, but come on, what are we doing here? Some of these matchups are just, it's like a 1 versus 16 seed in March Madness. You got to go with the 1 seed. Then we have Buddy Hield against Julius Randle. I really wish my Lakers had Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook. So, but he's a really solid player, great shooter. But you got to go with Julius Randle, who's the best player on a playoff team, or he was last year. Then we have Trey Young, Ice Trey, and Bogdanovic. This is another easy one. Trey Young, obviously. Got to go with Ice Trey. Then we have Kemba Walker and Patrick Beverley. Defense-wise, you got to go with Beverley, but Kemba Walker's the better player. Let's be honest. We got to go with Kemba Walker. Then we have Karl-Anthony Towns and Thomas Bryant. Does Thomas Bryant even play that much anymore? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Karl-Anthony Towns is a superstar. Then we have Marcus Smart and Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, this one's really interesting. Kind of close because coming into this year, I would have gone with Marcus Smart because he's more proven. He's better. He's a better player, better defender. I would have said that coming into this year. But Jaren Jackson's having a breakout season. Had a case to be an all-star this year, so let's go with Jaren Jackson. Then we have Jaylen Brown against Devontae Graham. Both really, Jaylen Brown's a great player. I don't think he was an all-star, but he has been an all-star. Devontae Graham's having a nice year, but this is really not that close. We're going with Jaylen Brown. Then we have Dillon Brooks and Pascal Siakam. Dillon Brooks, a big part of why Memphis is as good as they are this year, but you got to go with Siakam. He's probably the best player on the Raptors. He's a star. Joelle Embiid and Harrison Barnes, come on. Joel Embiid should be the MVP this year. That's how great he's playing. So we're going to go with him, of course. Jarrett Allen and Jamal Murray. Okay, here it is. Every year, up until this year, I would have definitely gone with Jamal Murray. But Jamal Murray's hurt right now. Jarrett Allen, one of the best players on a shocking Cavs team. So right now, you know what? It might be controversial, but I'm going to go with Jarrett Allen. Oh, wow. Wait a second. Hang on. Domas Sabonis or Fred VanVleet. Wow, this might be the toughest one yet. Fred VanVleet is an all-star this year. He's playing great. I think he's probably the best player on the Raptors. But Domas is the best player on the Pacers. Pacers suck, let's be honest, but Domas is quite the player. All around, I think I'd rather have Domas, but it's really close. I will go with him. Then we have Eric Paschall and Donovan Mitchell. Come on, Donovan Mitchell's a stud. Anthony Davis and Seth Curry. Seth Curry's playing fantastic this year. Gotta show some love for him. Gotta give him some credit. But AD, come on, street clothes. When he plays, he's the man, obviously, no question there. Then we have Boyan Bogdanovic against Karis Levert. Wow, I feel like Bogdanovic plays more and he's more consistent. But Karis Levert is has more of a ceiling, so I will go with him. Then LaMarcus Aldridge versus RJ Barrett. LaMarcus Aldridge way past his prime, so right now I will go with RJ Barrett, who I still think is an emerging star. Kyle Kuzma against Victor Oladipo. You know, you wouldn't think this would be close, but Victor Oladipo hasn't really been playing that much the last several years. So you know what? This might be controversial. I gotta give some credit to my boy Kuz. He's playing really well right now, so I will go with him. Then we have LeBron against Clint Capela. LeBron, obviously, Capela's good, but we're talking about the king. Then we have Zach Levine against Jrue Holiday. I love Jrue Holiday as a defender. I met him in real life. That was an honor. He's a great guy and everything. Great two-way player. But Zach Levine is the all-star right now. You can't not go with Zach Levine, but I love me some Jrue Holiday. John Collins and Kyrie Irving. Come on, we got to go with Kyrie Irving, even though, you know, he barely plays nowadays, or he doesn't play as much. He's a part-time player, but he's the man. Ben Simmons, Colin, Sexton. Two guys. Oh, what is it? Whoa, sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. Ben Simmons, I don't know what just happened. My bad. Colin Sexton, Ben Simmons, neither of them are playing this year. Neither of them, I think, will play this year. Ben Simmons, maybe if he gets traded at the deadline, we'll see. But you got to go with Ben Simmons. I think he's the better player. I don't know why the zoom-in screen's gone, but it is what it is. Damian Lillard and Nick Vooch, got to go with Dame time, obviously. Bam Adebayo and Chris Middleton. I got to go with Adebayo. I think he has a better all-around impact on the team. Luca and Lonzo, gotta go with Luca. Come on, Luca's the man, top 10 player easily. DeMar DeRozan, Bradley Beal. I guarantee you, I would have said Bradley Beal coming into this year, but DeMar DeRozan's had probably the best year of his career, and the Bulls are a great contender in the East, top team, and one of the top teams in the East. So you have to go with DeRozan right now. Then Kawhi Leonard and Julius Randle. Kawhi Leonard hasn't played this year, obviously, but he is an easy top 10 player, maybe top 5 when healthy. Randle, he's a really good player, but you got to go with Kawhi Leonard. Come on, let's be honest here. Hang on, my bad. All right, Kawhi. Trey Young, Kemba Walker, 2. Okay, Kemba Walker once was a great point guard, but not really anymore. So I will go with Trey Young because he is maybe another top 10 player. I don't know. Jaren Jackson, gotta give him credit, like I said, great player. But Karl Anthony Towns has been a much better player for much longer. Then we have Jaylen Brown and Pascal Siakam. Again, this has changed this year. A lot of opinions have changed this season because coming into this year, I probably would have said Siakam, but he's declined a little bit, and Jaylen Brown is having a really nice year. Although, despite the Celtics not being that good this year, he's played great. Joelle Embiid, Jared Allen. Look, Jared Allen pulled off the upset against Jamal Murray. He had a great run up until this point. But come on, Joelle Embiid is the man. Then we have Domas and Donovan Mitchell. Domas, great run, all-around player, great. But Donovan Mitchell has been the best player on a playoff team for several years now. So you got to go with him. Anthony Davis, Karis Levert. Karis Levert, look, he had a great run. But this is AD's show. He's winning that matchup 10 times out of 10. Easy win for him. RJ Barrett, Kyle Kuzma. Look, Kyle, you had a good run. I thought you should have gone to China this offseason, but you have kind of redeemed yourself. But RJ Barrett, I think, is a better player. I think he's a little bit better scorer, a little bit better. I don't know. I just think he's a little better. I don't know. I think he's a better scorer, and so why not? I think he's got more star potential. So we're gonna move back up here. We're going to move up to LeBron versus Zach Levine. Look, Zach Levine, again, star player, but this is LeBron's show. He's the king still. He beats Zach Levine. Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, two of the most controversial players this season. But I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving. Come on, he's a superstar. The talent is undeniable, and at least he's playing right now. Well, even if it's part-time, he's playing right now, so you can't deny that. Damian Lillard, Bam Adebayo. It's Dame time. He's the man. I know Bam's a great player, but Dame's the guy. Luca, DeMar DeRozan. All right, this shouldn't have been close coming into this year. I'm going to go with Luca, but that's a close call. I think DeMar DeRozan deserves a lot of recognition for what he's done this year. Kawhi Leonard, Trey Young. I will go with Kawhi, but, you know, Trey Young has played this year, so that's what makes it even closer than it should be. Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown. See, they're such different players. Jaylen Brown's a good two-way player, but Cat, I think, is a better overall player. Maybe the best. He's a great shooter, underrated shooter, actually. He says he's the greatest big man shooter of all time. I think that's some malarkey, but he's still a great shooter, great rebounder, great scorer, great all-around player. Gonna go with him. Joelle Embiid, Donovan Mitchell, two superstars, but Joelle Embiid has made himself he's having his best year. He's had a lot of great years, but this year, man, he's undeniably top 10, has a case for a top 5 player. Anthony Davis, RJ Barrett. Look, for RJ Barrett to make it advance twice, I think he made it to the Sweet 16. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that, but this is where his run ultimately comes to an end. Anthony Davis takes it, so then we go back up to, I think we're in the the Elite 8 right now. We got LeBron versus Kyrie Irving, 2 former teammates. I'm sure there would be some beef if they matched up, but you got to go with LeBron. And why is it doing that? I don't know. LeBron, we're going with LeBron. Okay, LeBron makes it to the Final Four. Dame Lillard, Luca Doncic. Luca's having a better year, but you know what? I didn't think I'd say this, but I think right now Luca's better all around. Rebounding, assists, clutchness. I would go with Dame, but Luca I think is just the better player right now. It's close though. I didn't think that Dame wouldn't make it to the Final Four. I got to be honest. Karl Anthony Towns, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's probably the best two-way player in the game. I know, again, he's not healthy, but when he is healthy, he will show you that he's probably better than Karl Anthony Towns. No disrespect. Then we have Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid coming into this year. I think a lot of people would have said AD, but because Joel Embiid's playing so well on a top 4 seeded Sixers team without Ben Simmons, he's playing like the MVP. Right now, I think he is the MVP. If I had a vote, I would give it to him. So right now, I think he's better than AD. So Joel Embiid gets to the Final Four. How many people we have? Okay, so we have LeBron versus Luca. Look, Luca, you had a great run, okay? But I'm gonna go with LeBron. LeBron's a better player. Come on, he's the king. He's having an unbelievable year at age 37. You can't deny that. Then we have Kawhi against Joel Embiid, and then we're gonna go with. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid. It's controversial, but I don't care. Joel Embiid's playing so well right now. So it comes down to LeBron and Joel Embiid. Who is better? Joel, I think, is having a slightly better year, but LeBron is having a great year as well. And I still think LeBron's the king, at least of this bracket. We don't have Giannis isn't in this bracket. So we're going to go with LeBron to win this bracket. Now, guys, as I'm making this bracket, I realize that this is just the left side of the bracket, but we're already at 17 minutes here. You guys have a life. I have a life. So this is what we're going to do. That was the winner of the left side of the bracket. Then I'll make a part 2, like my next video, I think. We can do the right side of the bracket, the players there. I don't want to check them because I want to be surprised. And then we'll have an ultimate winner, but consider this part 1, guys. So this was fun. Definitely comment your opinions, and this is good. Some unusual matchups, but that's what I love. These random comparisons, it's a great thing to do. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to comment your opinions, like I said. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe. Guys, we're closing in on 1,000 subs. If you want to help out the channel, that would be fantastic. You guys would be amazing for that, but you guys are amazing no matter what, guys. So you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys and see you guys in the next video.